Hey everybody, it's Carly. Happy Thursday evening. Hopping on here for our weekly Thursday training video. And tonight's topic that I chose is called the table, which I'll explain in a minute. So I just wanted to hop on and also just say I hope everybody had a great holiday, or if you're still celebrating, I hope you're having a great holiday season. And tonight I was thinking earlier today about what might be most helpful. I wanted to hop on here a couple days ago and talk about strategies for getting through challenging things to do with holiday gatherings and all this kind of thing. But I just could not make that happen on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And I'm sure many of you were not available anyway. So I chose a new topic that's related but different. So it's called the table. So I wanted to talk about, and it can be even a reflection on the holiday gatherings that have already happened, or it could also be just a focus on future gatherings, whether they're holiday related or not. But I want to talk about this idea of what kind of conversations we get into over the holidays. A lot of them are really, really fun. Some of them are really not fun, right? So the holidays can be a really, really tricky time where things that are expected or unexpected come at us, and we might think we know how we're going to handle them when they occur, but then we don't. So one of the things that I recently learned from my therapist a few weeks ago was envisioning all conversations being held across a table. Okay, that's why I called this the table. So if you can imagine yourself on one side of a table and another person that you're with on the other side of the table, or a group of people, and you're having a conversation and you're feeling a little bit attacked or a little bit uncomfortable with the conversation. So my therapist gave me some advice of what I can do when this happens to me. Okay, because we all go through this. We all have these situations in our lives where we're just like, this is not going where I want, and I really don't want to engage in this, right? So she said, first of all, notice the space between you and the other group of people or the other person. Notice that space, okay? There is an actual space. There's an area where you begin and end, and they begin and end. So we sometimes have this this sense that the connection is so strong that there's not any place where we begin and the other person ends. Okay, so when a conversation or a topic is handed to us, we take it in like this and we pick it up off of the table and we're thinking, no, I don't want it, and we throw it back, right? So if we can envision this space of this table between us, first and foremost, that is so healthy. Whether conversation is positive or negative, it's a really healthy thing. That's literally a way that we can actually just kind of think about having a mental boundary. Okay. Remember this table space and try to think if you are bringing something up that is affecting the other person, negatively, or this person's bringing something up that is affecting you negatively, and you can feel that in your body. You can feel yourself getting hot. You can feel yourself feeling defensive. Remember or imagine the speech from this other person landing on that table. Okay? And you can look at it and you have a decision. Okay, you can pick it up, you can engage in it, you can let it sit there and not engage in it, or you can push it back. Okay, 3 things you can do with it. Pick it up, let it be, or push it back. Now, if you pick it up, you can engage, okay? Maybe it's something that you don't want to engage in. Maybe it's a subject that you really don't want to engage in because you know where it's going to go and it's going to go to a bad place, and you really just you don't want to deal with that right now, okay? And you know that maybe you're going to react negatively to whatever this topic or subject is, okay? Then you can let it be. How do we just let it sit there? We say, I'm not really wanting to have this conversation right now. Okay, that's setting a boundary. I really don't want to have this conversation right now or talk about this. Okay, most people are going to respect that. If they don't, then you literally get up and leave. Literally get up and leave. Your second your second option is to pick up whatever was put on the table and engage with it. You have the right to defend yourself. Okay, if you're going to do that, do it lovingly. Just try to do it in a way that's not like negative and arrogant and terrible. Just say, hey, you're saying this and here's what I think about it. And, that's it. Right. And they might push back and push back and push back or they might tune you out because they think that you're about ready to melt down, whatever it is. But generally when you can just pick that up and say, you know what? I see that this is a negative thing that was thrown on the table. I'm going to defend myself, although, I'm being loving about it. That is completely healthy. I'm going to defend myself. I don't agree with you. There you go. So you picked it up from the table, but you also didn't internalize it. The other thing, the last option you have is to push back. This can be tricky, but not really. So usually if someone's going to push something at you, and I'm thinking more things that are like, their opinions, their advice, something that's shaming, something that is going to create a lot of conflict, statements that are really critical, something that is inviting you to be in a power struggle, or even if they're just imposing their insecurities and fears onto you and wanting you to pick those things up and internalize them. One thing you can do is push it back to the person. And you can say, look, I know that this is, a worry of yours or a fear of yours or something that you don't agree with that I do. But if this was a priority to me, I would do it and push it back to him. Just give it back to him. Just say, this is not my priority right now. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring. Great statement. Because in life, you guys, I think that we can all agree that most people, when they are getting into this sense of wanting to battle or prove you wrong or always be right, most of them are doing it, first of all, because they're insecure. Second of all, just because they care. There's generally two main reasons for it. And what you can do to show your boundaries and keep control, like I said, is to either pick it up, defend yourself, but then let it be. You said your piece, okay? They can argue with you all you want. How you feel is how you feel. There's nobody can argue. Nobody can say, no, you don't feel that way. Or you can let it be and say, I don't feel like engaging in that right now. Or you can push it back and say, if it's the case that you're like, this is really your issue, and I love you, and I'm not going to take this on. Okay, those are 3 healthy things that we can do. I've dealt with this kind of thing a lot in my life. So I would like to do another video on this because I know that there's so much more to be said about this. But when my therapist told me about this idea of envisioning a table between me and, a person that I love or someone I've never met. Well, hell, if it's someone I've never met, I don't even really care to defend myself, right? But maybe you do. But really, if it's someone that doesn't know you, just rest assured that there's just lay it on the table. But if you're in a situation with someone who does know you really well and there's a pattern going on and you really want to stop it, you might want to engage. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. I think I'll do another video on this sometime because I just feel like it's all over the place, but that was really helpful to me. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope that this serves you in some capacity. And as always, please leave comments or questions. All right. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.